Hey, okay, so I wanted to share this with you all, and the things that I want to share is I hope that it helps someone, or it brings some kind of clarity or revelation to someone, or ultimately my goal is to help people, right? To help you see God, right? And feel more connected to him, right? Um, my goal is never to show off any type of knowledge or information or anything. Like, I never feel like what I have to say or offer is anything, but I hope that God speaks through this or sheds some light through what I say so that it helps someone, because I always feel like these words are pointless in my own mind, but at the same time I feel like God is also touching my heart to share it. So that's what I wanted to share today, and I hope that it's not pointless, and that it's a point for someone. It's something, it's impactful for someone, right? So what God was showing to me was, I remember when there are points in my life when I can clearly, vividly remember having an interaction with someone or observing someone's behavior, and it giving me some kind of permission to follow suit, right? Or to act that same way, right? Um, and not to say that I was a follower, even though kind of I was, but we all, that is scientific theory, right, of human behavior, is that people are a reflection, are a mirror of us, right? Our interactions from a child, right? Whatever, you can be raised with wolves and you will act like a wolf, right? The interactions that we have with people are a mirror for us, right? It reflects to us who we are, right? When we think we get our dressed up, right, and somebody tells us we're ugly, right, we might not take it serious if everybody, is telling me I'm beautiful, and that one person tells me I'm ugly. I'm not going to take it that serious. But if everybody's telling me I'm ugly, I'm going to be like, okay, well, right, that tells me that I might just be ugly, right? Something might be off. you know so you are mean to someone, and you're getting a reaction from that person, right? You are kind to a person, you get that reaction, right? So the interactions that we have with people reflect to us who we are, and tells us who we are, as well as gives us permission to either continue being that way or to change, right? So one thing that I've noticed, I remember, it's so funny because I remember being a kid, and we all know what's right and wrong, right? We all know. And I used to be such a sweet kid, and I used to be a really good listener, right? I think I was always skilled at that, even before I was a therapist, right? But there was a point when I noticed that people didn't listen to me. They interrupted me, right? They would change the subject and all this stuff, right? Maybe I thought at first, maybe I'm not interesting, right? And I still kind of think about stuff like that. But then it also gave me permission. Oh, people don't have to listen to you. So I don't have to listen to everybody. It gave me permission to not listen, to not be a good listener, right? And I say permission because sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes it feels like, oh, it's opening a door for me to act in a certain way that maybe God didn't allow me to, that maybe my spirit or my intuition and my sense of what's right and what's wrong is telling me not to do, but because somebody else did it, it's giving me permission to, right? Because if everybody else is doing it, why can't I do it, right? Or sometimes you don't feel like you have permission. I don't feel like I have permission to be kind, to be humble, to be patient with others. I feel like I have to fight because everybody else in my culture fights, right? I can't be disrespected, right? So sometimes we feel like we don't have permission to be how Jesus called us to be, but God is giving you permission today. He's saying that no more does people in this world have to be your mirror, right? When you read your word and hear about Jesus and hear the stories about the characters in the Bible and how they follow God and how they trusted God and they can keep their character intact, they can keep doing right, they can not bow down to other gods, they can do what they're supposed to do, right? And God kept them. And God kept their promises to them, and God delivered them, right? And Jesus, even though he died, he came back to life, y'all. So God's giving you the permission today to let him be your mirror, to use him as a reflection of what's good and what's not, what's true and what's light and what's right? Because the path is narrow and he wants you to get on the path. But he is the way, he is the mirror, he is your reflection, right? When you look in the mirror, you should compare yourself to him. There's literally a scripture that says that the word is a mirror, literally. And that scientific theory is that people are a mirror, but that's the world, right? That's biological, whatever. When you are spirit, you no longer operate by biological things. I'm mad because my body, cancer cells is ruining my mood, right? Or whatever. We don't have to operate following biological systems because we're spirit. So we follow just like Jesus was spirit. So we follow and we operate how he operated. And there's nobody on this earth that is at the spiritual level as Jesus. So we have to use him as our mirror because everybody else's standard is not like his standard and what he wants to call you to, right? So doesn't matter what scientific theory says, right? In this sense, right? Yes, that is a fleshly thing. That is a worldly biological terms. Yes. That's why it's so important to raise your child the way that they should go, because when they get older, that's what they're going to follow, because you as their parent are their mirror, right? But there comes a point in time when you become an adult, or when you, even as a teenager or whatever age, when you realize that God is your father, he has to be your mirror. I hope that blesses somebody today. Oh Lord, because I felt like God really wanted me to share that. So I hope that blesses you like it blesses me. Have a good weekend. Love you guys. Be blessed. Bye.